Alright, I'm gonna start the
Oh.
recording before I do this.
Trying out a new feature that I installed.
Why did the
like
dice look different?
Oh, look at that.
Matt,
Yeah?
it didn't let me roll it because the game is paused.
Yep.
Oh.
There's no encounter.
There's no encounter, yeah.
Oh, does it not let you roll initiative if there's no encounter?
Yep.
Correct.
It pops up an error message.
Oh, fucking boo.
Oh, hey, picture X strikes. That's nice.
Let's try this.
Oh, neat.
Can I keep
Oh.
What the
Nifty.
fuck?
That's cool.
Why did I roll a crit? My fucking perception.
Matt's growing too powerful.
Hi.
His command over the universe has grown stronger.
Wait, you just need perception, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure it works for all of you guys.
Oh, perception. Boo.
Oh, I got 2
Hurt.
requests from you, so I'm just asking.
Did the pop-up not show up for you, Vit?
It did. It just wouldn't let me do anything with
Weird.
it. Like, I clicked it both times and it didn't go. You can try it again, and I can try it.
Let me send it just to you.
There we go.
There we go. Okay. Alright, and out of curiosity, do you guys have the dice in the bottom right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Is that
The
a
bottom right? Oh, yes.
Is that an add-on?
Yes.
Yes.
Matt,
Yay.
gimme.
Left click adds that given dice, right click removes it, and the plus minus at the bottom is for flat modifier, so you can quickly assemble rolls
roll.
that you do not normally have. And you can also set if you have fortune, which is advantage, or misfortune, which is
Oh, nice.
Matt,
yeah.
please DM me the name of that module.
Yeah. So we actually.
God, Foundry is actually fucking awesome.
Well, the add-on was probably built by someone that, like, outside of Foundry.
Well,
Yeah.
but the fact that you can do it, you know?
Yeah. The fact that it's so add-on friendly is nice.
Exactly. That's, yeah.
Were there any other ones I wanted to check? If you hover over your characters and enemy tokens, if any of you have them on your screen, you can also get rough health estimates. I stole that one from Bit's campaign.
Ha!
Oh.
I actually saw that one during our team at fight.
Hi, baby.
Whoops.
I shouldn't have had that on during. I only
I was able
downloaded
to.
that like yesterday.
I was able to see allies' health estimates, not enemies.
Like their health bars.
Not their bars, their estimates.
What the fuck? I installed that module like 2 days ago.
Are
I
you
can't-
sure you're not thinking something else, Kevin?
I'm fairly confident. I don't know. Maybe it was Vit's campaign and I'm fucking gaslighting myself.
I could look
Yeah,
at the
because my
recording,
campaign's
but
had it for a while.
Yeah.
I kind of remember seeing this thing before too, the whole uninjured thing as well. When I last played, I had to look back at my recording though.
Huh.
It looks
I wonder
familiar.
if it had some like baseline feature that added it in a little bit.
Yeah, go back and look at my recording.
But yeah. Are you good on the recording?
Oh yeah.
Alright, so how's everybody doing?
Say it, Sam.
Good now that I'm here.
Like shit.
Hell yeah.
Yay.
So look forward
Feel
to
like shit.
hearing the cat screaming in the fucking background because apparently
Leo.
he decided today he's gonna be super needy.
Meow.
So that's gonna be a fun adventure.
I love Leo screaming. It's my favorite.
But yeah. Last time we played, you guys definitely had a fun adventure and nothing bad happened.
Yeah,
Definitely
we rolled.
didn't get TPK'd.
Oh, we actually beat our ass.
No, I feel
That's
pretty
what
good.
I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
great.
it
Yeah.
was a super fair fight.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't
Both
say
sides
that.
fought hard.
I mean, the jester sort of just rolled up and just one-tapped Tiamat. We all went home.
Yeah,
And,
had a party.
Yeah, there was a one tapping involved between two of those
Man.
characters.
I know my memory's bad, but shit, I don't remember any of that.
It's okay. Tomas took a nap because the fight was going so well.
That's fair. That's fair. He would do that.
The jester's got this. You don't need my arrows. Fuck this. I'm sleeping.
To flip to the right page with my fancy new book.
Let me see background. Alright. So, we have two ways we can do this. I can either go off of your perception rolls to see the order in which we kick all of this off, or we can do it the fun predetermined list that I'm not going to explain the circumstances of. And I'm pretty sure you'll figure it out relatively quickly.
I
Do
vote
the
the list.
list.
Let's
I
do
wanna
the
know
list.
what the circumstances
Jesus.
are.
Wait, what? Sorry, I missed.
That's rough. You can only figure that out if we go with the list.
I know. I want to do the list, and I want to know the circumstances.
Okay.
I
Any
legitimately.
objections to using the list?
No.
I missed what you asked, so I have no problem with it.
Okay, Eeyore. No.
He just
I
said he
asked,
got a nat 20.
Shut up.
And nothing came of it.
I asked
Ow.
if we wanted to use the perception rolls to determine who's going to start this off, or if we're going to use a list I pre-made, but I'm not telling you the conditions of.
Gotcha. Okay. I
We
am
can
good
only
with
find out
either.
the conditions of the list if we use the list, and I want to know because now Matt's told us that there are conditions.
I'm good with either.
Alright, list it is. Did I like this?
Oh, I think I have an idea of what the list might be
Oh,
I-
this.
before anything happens.
I
Oh,
would
this.
I would say that Nathan is sounding a little bit listless right now, but that's not exactly the case.
Oh.
That
Yeah,
was
well,
good,
thanks.
actually.
Yep.
I like that one.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, if everybody's ready, everybody's got something to drink.
Hope you stubbed your
Here's run to
fucking
the
toe.
bathroom.
Can I place bets on who goes first? To see
Sure,
if I'm right. I bet Tomas is going first.
that's a solid guess.
I'll go in on the Tomas circle. Yeah.
I'm okay with it if that's the case.
Well, you both are right. So, Tomas.
Well,
After you lost your sense of consciousness as you felt yourself flying through the air for a moment before you hit your back hard against something and blacked out. You awake, your body still aching slightly. The sounds, birds and insects, a loud purring. As your senses slowly return to you, you realize that you are sitting propped up against a tree. You feel a warm, heavy vibration on your lap. As you look down, and you see that Keela is currently looking up at you, purring happily.
Tomas is gonna blink slowly and be like, "This is the wrong cat." I love you, Keela, but you're the wrong cat.
A short distance away, at a nearby campfire, set up in the dimming light of the forest, you see two familiar faces, one of whom turns to you and speaks up, realizing that you are now awake, and says, "Well, considering the circumstances, that is the only other cat that's in here for the time being. I can't speak for the state of the one out there."
I'm in my head.
Fucking kill this cat. Sorry.
He's adding ambience.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a cat in the scene. It works.
Yeah, this Kira fucking meowing incessantly.
Tomas is gonna like pinch the bridge of his nose, and he's just gonna take a guess, and he'll be like, "Focus, what the fuck happened?"
Well, considering what your unexpected visitor told us and the state of things in here, I imagine that your mission is going rather poorly.
Right, Reese's mom showed up. Unexpected visitor.
Yes, well, when you talked about causing trouble with the gods, I wasn't expecting you to make such an ambitious first choice.
Um, I've made a lot of ambitious choices. This is actually the second one. I shot a Fey god.
That's definitely an interesting choice.
Yeah.
He just kind of glances over at the other you who's tending to the fire and keeping a watch on things and says, well, at least that hasn't changed. How are you holding yourself together?
Well,
Took quite a while for you to come to in here. You've had to
Tomas
keep on the move.
Tomas gonna stretch his back out a bit. He's like, "Well, that's functioning at least."
Yes, you're in a bit better state than when we first found you the other time, so we'll take that as a blessing.
Mm.
And you flash back to your dream in your home city where you were lying crumpled on the ground, unable to move anything below your waist.
His face is gonna scrunch up. He's like, "So you said we're on the move in here, but we're in my head. What is? Okay, there's a lot that's dangerous in my head, but nothing. What's abnormal about it this time?"
We have an intruder.
Bitch.
Yes, well, your acquaintance gave us some little bit of forewarning and protected you as much as he could, but there's only so much that can be done against the type of threat that we're facing.
Wait, what is this acquaintance you're talking about?
Your friend with the mask.
The jester? Did the jester have a mask?
Yeah, he had like a theater
Okay.
mask, like the frowny smiley mask.
Bro.
Yes, if it wasn't for him, we don't think we would have found you before all of this went down. I wasn't exactly expecting you to visit, let alone be passed out within a corner of your own mind.
I mean, I did really enjoy our talk last time, but I had no intentions of visiting so soon.
Curious circumstances, then. On the positive side, the fact that we're speaking bodes well to the fact that you are most likely still alive at the very least.
Shocking. She seems to really not like me.
Yes, my general understanding is Tiamat doesn't like a lot of people, but she seems to, well, considering the state we found you in, she seemed to take considerable joy in putting you there.
I corrupted her wonderful son. He's just gonna grin.
Ah, so a
Yeah.
continuation of the excellent choices then.
Yeah.
Well, bad decisions aside, and as much as I do enjoy our conversations, there is a matter of getting you out of here before anything else happens on the outside.
Can I not just like wake up?
Well, so far out of all of us in attendance, you're the only one who's able to leave. So whatever you did last time, I'd give that a shot personally.
Okay. Well, so just stand up and stretch and like hold the hand, be like, goodbye, and then he's gonna try to leave like he did before.
Yep. So Tomas, as you start trying to walk away from them, you feel your limbs become heavy and lethargic, and they start to prickle at the ends, like all of your limbs have suddenly dropped, fallen asleep on you, and you nearly stumble and drop to your knees. The further you get on the edge of their camp.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, it's okay. It's cat bully night.
Apparently. Well, so we'll just stop. Be like, okay, yeah, no, so that's not gonna work, and he's gonna like fumble his way back over.
So it seems that you're suffering from the similar effects that we are. There seem to be increasingly small pockets where she doesn't have some sort of influence. If I had to guess, she's trying to keep you in this particular state, trying to keep us being able to interact with you at all. I don't think she's particularly pleased that we're still being able to have this conversation.
How does she even have control of like my head?
Well, if you recall correctly, she is the daughter of the Mother of Souls.
Ah, shit, fuck, I forgot about that.
Yes, she has, albeit twisted, but similar abilities to that Brianna, as she was originally gifted them. Her
So how do I just tell her to fuck right off?
well, if you can find a suitable way to do so, you're more than welcome to try. But as cathartic as simply telling the gods off are, I don't think that will be particularly effective in this case.
He's gonna wander over to the fire. Kinda like side eye himself. Scrunch his face up a little bit. He's like, so we just keep moving, I guess? We find a spot where I can break out from?
That seems like our best option at the time, for the time being.
Well, I guess we should get going.
Yes, I have a few things I'd like to muse on, but until we have a better idea what exactly it is that she's doing, perhaps it's best not to do anything too drastic.
Wait. I like doing things that are drastic. At least share your musings.
Well, let's just say it's a good thing that you like taking risks.
Uh-huh.
Because you're in the business of fighting gods now, Thomas. Perhaps it's time you learn how to stack the deck.
Uh-huh.
And you just see a wry grin appear from underneath the hood. And you begin discussing something that we'll go over when we get back to you as you make preparations to move. As uh, Keela lets out a low growl at the sudden change in sensation, and you feel an odd shift in pressure as you guys probe for another safe location with which to further play. So, next up on the list, I believe, was Reeves.
I know why the order. I know why the order is like this now. Kevin also does too.
Who would have guessed that I'm a bully?
No, that makes total sense. I appreciate it. All right.
So, Reeves. Similar to Tomas, you feel your senses slowly returning you after you remember your vision blacking out as your throat and lungs felt like they were lit aflame and you choked on a toxic mixture of fumes in your own blood before losing consciousness. As you wake up coughing and gasping for air, you feel a slight jostle as um, the brush of fabric sweeps over your body, and your eyes, though still not fully perceiving your surroundings, sense the dimming of light as you seem to pass away from the sun. And as your vision slowly returns to you and you feel yourself being set down, you find yourself inside one of the tents within your mind circus. And you feel a large, familiar hand as Joser pats you on top of the head, seeing that you're moving, and says, "How are you doing, little guy?"
Um, Reeves will look up at him and say, "Well, um, I've had better days,
Yes, your friend came and told us.
friend."
The one with the mask.
Uh, and when did that happen?
Maybe about 15, 20 minutes back. You look over and um, see your former tutor standing next to Joser.
How? You know what? I'm not gonna question it. Um,
If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have realized that you were even in here. It's been a while since any of us have been that far outside of camp. Wasn't expecting to find you out there of all things.
well, I wasn't exactly expecting to be here. Um, uh, okay. Um, did so as I was passing out, I was very concerned of what was going to happen to all of you in here. But am I actually not dead?
It's hard to say for certain, as you see Cedar and, excuse me, Madame Victoria enter in from one of the back rooms. We've been trying to get a sense for things, but as far as we can tell, nothing's really changed in here, aside from your sudden arrival and the Change in the weather outside. We're all
Okay.
still here.
Change in the weather. Reeves is gonna cross over and take a peek outside the tent.
Yep. Give me a perception check.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So, as you get closer to the edge of the tent, you hear the sound of heavy rain that you weren't noticing as much um, as you were just coming out of your unconsciousness. Uh, and as you open the tent flap, you look outside the heavy storms and the crack of thunder in the distance as lightning blinds you for a moment. But just as you open your eyes one more time and you see the sky arc with light again, you faintly see something large and looming floating above in the clouds.
Is it vaguely draconic shaped?
Yeah, probably.
Re- Reeves, seeing the large object, making his own conclusions, promptly closes the flap of the tent. Um, are we good to stay here?
Probably not. We sent word
Okay.
run out to see if there was any other safe location nearby. The scenery always seems to shift in here from day to day, so we haven't been building maps. This is the only large ground cover we have for the time being.
Uh, Considering this is my brain or whatever this place actually is, you'd think there'd be other locations for you guys.
What was that last part?
Um, Considering this is like my own mindscape, you'd think there'd be other places in here.
For the most part, it's just what we usually set up when we set down for camp. And you see the other you head in from um, one of the back entrances, just slicking off some of the rain. We've been making rounds to make sure there's nothing else getting into camp so far, but as far as we can tell, it's just the thing up there.
Yeah, I really don't like the thing up there.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that anybody trying to run out, your limbs start to go asleep on you. Only make it a few feet before you start struggling just to stay on your feet. So we've been moving around in here as best we can,
Hmm.
trying to set up patrols, barricaded as well as we can, but it's not exactly well, we didn't plan the circus defenses for aerial combatants.
Well, if I had a nickel, if I had a copper for every time that we had to do that, I would now have 2 coppers, which is more than you would. Which is not, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it's really strange that we had to do it twice now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I never really got the lowdown on what would happen if I were to die. So I'm going to assume I'm not dead. Um, Madam Madam V, is there? Can you detect if there's any? I don't know, like any other anomalies that haven't really, like magical anomalies?
There are a range of them all over the place. Are you looking for anything in specific?
Um, anything having to do with any magics that would have to do with like restraining someone.
As far as we can tell, they're various. Not even sure if it's fair to call them spells. There's some sort of miasma that's spreading, invisible to the eyes, but reacts powerfully to whatever we are made of in here.
It reacts what?
Powerfully to whatever they're made of in here.
Hmm. I'm guessing in a bad way.
Yes, it's like the other Reeves described. Numbness of the extremities, loss of focus, dizziness. One of Werdran's animals collapsed, likely unconscious, perhaps something more. We couldn't retrieve it to be sure.
But where did you say you guys found me?
We found you much farther outside of the camp than we thought we could go. If it wasn't for your masked companion telling us the way, we would have thought that the route completely untraceable.
Hmm.
It seems like it is not a perfect sphere. It's converging pockets that are growing larger. The air is getting heavier overall throughout the camp.
Hmm. And there wasn't miasma that way?
Yes, invisible to the eye, but as far as we can tell, it has us mostly surrounded at various distances.
Hmm.
It's safe to say for most directions, you can't even get outside of the camp.
Well, we're sitting ducks here. Um, if we were to move, I would want to go that way.
Back the way we found you.
Well, if it extends even further, then that's worth a shot, I guess.
We can have. Sorry. We could have Werdran's animals check it out first, see if the path is still open to us. Not sure how much farther out that'll extend to us, though.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and see if we can't do that.
Alright, I'll go track him down and see if we can't change his scouting. And you see Lady Venquin give you a quick salute and dip out of the tent. And you hear a voice from the back of the room pick up. Are you stuck in here with us?
Yeah, seems to be the way. If she's keeping me like this, well, gotta find the lock so I can pick it.
Are you just expecting there to be a big old padlock sitting out there in the middle of the field for you?
Well, that'd be extremely inconvenient, but no. I do recall that there was uh back when I back when we found you all, um there there was some sort of lock on the entrance to the entrance to where gluttony was sealed up. So maybe something like that.
At least you're starting to get the idea of it. And I think even that might be a bit too literal for what we're looking for here.
Yeah, I'm really struggling with this whole metaphysical stuff that you guys keep going on about.
And you see him stand up with a huff, and Crack starts heading over in your direction. I'll go ahead and assume she says the same thing, but you keep running into the same problem, so I'm gonna repeat it for you. And he just like walks over you, towering a bit over you, even though he's still just a really tall goblin and not like people sized. He just taps you hard on the head. You keep thinking with this. Sometimes problems can't just be solved like that. There isn't an answer to these types of things.
Uh, can Reeves make a religion check to kind of get at what he's trying to say?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. That's about where the first check for this should be.
All right. So, as you wait for the results of Werdrun's and Lady Ven's scouting, you and Krax have a conversation for a bit, trying to get to the depths of what he is trying to portray to you. Then we cycle. Wolf, my friend, my pal.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Okay.
So, Wolf met a similarly unfortunate fate as Reeves, where though he survived the initial breath weapon, he succumbed eventually to the overpowering might of Tiamat's physical strength. And though you tried to stand yourself up after the fact, they simply ignored you and flew away as the poison lingering in the air burned away your lungs and sapped the strength from your body until you collapsed and lost consciousness. Uh, and as you wake up, you feel yourself being dragged across the ground, your limbs numb and heavy, as you feel your hair dragged underneath your face. And as you let out a groan and open one of your eyes, all you see is. For a second, you think you might have gone blind before the cold hits you, and you realize that you're standing, or rather being dragged through, a field of snow. In response to the shift in your movement, whoever was dragging you drops you onto your back, and as you gain your strength, you look up in their direction, and you see, well, you. The less knightly you, dressed in furs and heavy cloths, carrying the large sword across their back. And standing next to them, the former knight captain of the Black Legion. You hear other footsteps settle around you as the other adventurers and Kirali that you rescued from within Wrath settle in and take up spots around, keeping an eye out for something ominous in the air. Even as your strength returns to you, the air feels heavy and dense as a storm crackles overhead, and you can feel the snow being whipped up by the winds around you. Well, well, well. Look who's finally awake.
Just am I still being dragged during this?
No, he dropped you.
Okay. Seem I am, but not exactly sure where I am.
Well, considering that we're all here, I think it's pretty safe to say we're inside you.
Side. Wolf's gonna ponder for a moment and jump to the extreme conclusion. After, does he remember what happened?
You remember the fight, and you remember going unconscious, and then you just woke up to this.
I'm not dead, am I?
Well, I certainly hope not, and be ashamed to be stuck in your corpse for the rest of time.
Fair enough. Well, why? Why? Why are we in my head, my body? Wherever this is. Is this?
Well, I don't know why you're here. We've been here ever since you and that other key Raleigh last pulled us all out of there.
You must understand that I need to get out.
Hey, we didn't even know you could come here, so you're free to leave at any time.
Wolf's gonna stand and look around, and I'm gonna guess he's met by no welcome path of exit.
Nope, just whipping winds in every direction, just like a wall of white. But I'll take a solid guess and say have no idea how to do that, do you?
No. I don't know what terrifies me more, what potentially killed me, or the situation I'm in now.
And you see the other wolf kind of like scowl a bit at that. And see, that's the problem. That's how you got yourself into this situation. And he just taps hard on the armor on your chest. You got so used to being hard out here that you got soft on the inside. Do you even have any idea what you're doing?
It did. But lately, it's been losing sight of goals, losing a grasp on who we were, who we weren't. What are you supposed to be?
I'm the one trying to keep all of this held together. So if you don't know what you're doing, Stay out of my way and see if we can't figure this out. And after mad dogging you for a second, the other wolf gives a whistle and starts heading off again into the storm. And the others begin to follow suit. Do you follow them for the time being?
Why is other wolf so much cooler? Yeah, he kind of follow like a sad puppy. Haha.
Wee! So as you follow along with the group trying to navigate your mind blizzard, shift away for a bit. Mika.
Ah.
So, if I recall correctly, you met your fate under a unrelenting series of blows from Tiamat's assault. Just blow after blow of impossible strength that eventually crushed your defenses and left you collapsed as you lost consciousness on the floor, unable to defend friends.
Feels accurate.
As you thought that was the end, you find yourself surprised as you're awoken to the sound of a familiar voice yelling, "Heave!" as you feel your body be dragged over hard stone and you hear the sound of the heavy doors being slammed behind you and the grunts of dozens of other men and women as they hold back something possibly strong as the stone and the steel groans around you. As you open your eyes, you find yourself in Silverhand Hall. The front door to your home has been turned into a makeshift barricade, barred by your family, all of them wearing their battle gear. As your senses slowly return to you, you feel a hard pat on your shoulder and someone reaching down to you. A familiar face, almost as if you were looking in the mirror. We got you, lass. Come on.
Pretty sure I'm dead.
Well, if you are, it's not as bad as they make it out to be. But I think we both know you're too busy to be dead.
That's the fucking truth. Alright. So why am I not a pancake right now?
That's what I'd like to know. We were just trying to get this place shaped up when that friend of yours with the mask showed up. Said that something was coming and we need to go help you.
Huh. I thought he was dead too, so I guess I get to thank him later.
We barely made it to you in time.
In time for what?
Time to avoid that thing gobbling you and us up. And she just gestures to the door that, like, you see it, like, get knocked back and it nearly sends a couple of the people flying off the door as they push it back into place and apply another brace on it. You lads got everything under control? And you hear a couple reaffirming grunts and yays before she gives a nod and says, "Alright, we got this place under lockdown, but I don't know how much it's gonna hold. Let's just hope that SOS's preparations are coming through."
Well, what she's it worked. What she did the last time seemed to have worked. All our other preps, so hopefully this will do it too. But this is my head. There's got to be a back way out of here.
Well, if anyone would know, it'd be you.
Alright, fucking. I'd ask what's banging through, but I can take a wild guess about how many heads it's got. Let's go find Selwyn. I don't like it.
So you travel down through the familiar halls of your home, and eventually, as you near the sound of one of the forges in the lower levels, you approach your forge, Mika, and a wall of heat and the sound of ringing steel comes out to meet you. And as you turn the corner, you see Selwyn working not steel, gems, or stone, but fire itself. And she looks up at you with a flame you haven't seen in her eyes in a long time and says, "Welcome back."
You're gonna have to teach me to do that if we can figure out how the fuck to get out of this.
That's the plan. And she meets you with a mischievous grin, and we're gonna fade to black as you make preparations with Selwyn.
Yee.
Reese.
Hi.
Hi. So, the last thing you remember is your mother standing over you, pressing her hand, not even that, a single finger up against your chest until you felt your bones break and your heart stop. Yet moments after everything faded to black, you feel boom, 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 your heart pounding heavy in your chest as you take in a deep, heavy breath and snap awake as you find yourself lying in the bed in the cabin, awoken to the sounds of rain hammering against the side of the building and the sounds of violent roars outside as the wood creaks under their pressure. The cabin is in disrepair and heavily scarred. The cage at the end of the room, open and empty, and you're alone, except for a single figure, sitting calmly in the center of the room, drinking tea and looking out the window, and hearing your sudden movement. He looks over his shoulder, pushes the chair out, in a gesture for you to join him.
I'll go ahead and walk over and join him.
He address
Uh,
in his human form.
oh.
I will say this is considerably less enjoyable when I'm awake. And as he looks outside at Tiamat pounding at the defenses laid around the small cabin, he just frowns a bit and says, "I can see where you found the courage to tell her off. It's not exactly a very confidence inspiring look."
Yeah. I guess I'm not dead then.
For now. Though I can't exactly say where we are for certain. Whatever Mother is doing is keeping me here as well.
Oh, of course. You're her favorite.
We're her favorite.
Ugh. I'm guessing getting out of here via the cabin door isn't a smart idea.
Take a look for yourself. And as you look over to where the door previously was, there is none.
It's just a wall? Or is it
Yep.
open? Oh, it's
Just a
just wall.
cabin wall.
Whew. Oh, cool.
So now you can finally see as it always was.
Where's Brianna?
What she can to keep Mother out. Though who knows how long that will last for. So I have an important question for you, Reese.
Go ahead.
If I recall correctly, last time you were here, or rather the first time you were here, Grandmother gave you a key.
Yeah.
Did you ever figure out what that was for?
I figured it was a key to the glamour. I'm guessing that's not all it is. What, Matt? Sorry, didn't hear you.
I was trying to think of how to properly put it.
Oh, okay.
It's easier to say that was the key to your life. I was as shocked as you were when she gave it to you.
Wait,
As amazing as she sees in comparison to Mother, sometimes Brianna has a great number of flaws. Prime amongst them being that she doesn't know when to let go of something, thinking she can protect the world by herself. They just gave her the chance. Controlling. What happens and when.
wait. Back up a little bit. What do you mean the key to my life?
The opportunity to be whoever you wanted to be. Yet here we are still. The same people that were in that cabin back then. Why?
I don't know.
As much as I try not to meddle, Reese, there are certain things that cannot be hid from me. Are you still afraid of them? Feelings you get in your chest. The anger. Pleasure.
Not as much as I used to be.
Are you still afraid of who you might be? If you stop being what Brianna told you you were.
I'm not sure. But I'm starting to not care.
Understand? Aren't you tired of playing the sweet little puppet mother and grandmothers who think best? Doesn't it mad? Make you want to scream?
You know? Yeah, it does.
And he turns to you. And there's a look of not so much anger, but determination in his eyes, and says, don't you think it's time to let out our roar of defiance? To see what's under that false visage?
Yeah. I'm tired of this shit.
Then let's go ape shit. Cut to black.
Ugh.
Goosebumps.
Yeah.
He addressed with the "Aren't you tired of being nice?"
Perfect.
That's my bro. That's my bro.
Lana.
Whoa.
Hello. So, the last thing you remember was taking your final moments to try to stand up to Tiamat and tell her she wouldn't win before you were cut off by a pain in your neck and suddenly blackness. You're woken up to a strain, almost like you slept horribly for a week straight on your neck,
Uh-huh.
just horrifically cramped, and a jostling sensation as you feel yourself being carried in somebody's arms, and the light disappears over your eyes, jostling you to open them, and slowly as your vision returns to yourself, you see yourself being carried into the temple within your mind by Sarah as you hear the doors shut behind you to stop the pouring rain from falling.
Yeah, Sarah's like Lana's just kind of like groaning in discontent right now. She's still just she kind of reaches up to like rub her neck and tries to like get out of her arms. It's like, "Oh, Sarah?
Hey, you're awake. Oh, I don't exactly know what's going on out there, but we got you. And she helps set you down, but gives you a bit of support until you find your balance.
Mhm." Which she does in time. She just kind of looks around and then she once she recognizes where she's at, she's like, "Wait, we're in my head."
Yeah, I didn't think there was anybody else in here but us, and when you came to visit, but some masked fella showed up and pointed us in your direction.
Mask? What kind of mask?
Uh, he had like a big smile on his face.
Him.
I don't recall running into him before, but if you're picking up extra friends, that's cool by me.
No, trust me, I'd give you a heads up. I I think something else is going on here. Where's Master at?
I'm right over here. And you see him appear from behind you. It looks like he was the one that closed the door to the temple as you guys were entering. I take it that is what you were encountering outside.
Well,
You just hear a roar in the distance.
yeah, Lana just kind of shivers and just kind of like lets her head sink and just goes, "Yeah, I'll admit I try not to let a lot of things get to me, but I don't think I've ever felt so helpless in my life, and that includes going up against envy in here."
Yeah, things have definitely been feeling off for a bit. Your
How
key's been
so?
all kind of whack for like the past hour or so. We haven't been able to hear or see anything on the outside for a bit.
What was the last thing you remember seeing out of me?
Uh, I remember you talking with that masked fella on the outside. And then you
So
guys
the
making that agreement to protect yourselves just in case Tiamat got in.
wait, what?
Yeah, don't you remember? He said he was going to ward you guys up against Tiamat because of I don't
Matt,
remember
did
the
that
technical
happen?
talk. You don't remember it happening.
Oh, okay. Wait, no, I don't remember that at all. I did that?
I guess he did say y'all would forget if she ended up triggering it. I don't remember the details, but there was a concern that she might try to get in your head because of all the dream stuff that she does.
No kidding. Well, if she's out there trying to get in right now, we gotta do something. Are we? Is she just out, like right outside?
As far as I can tell, she's mostly been floating around out there for a bit. My limbs started to get a little bit tingly on some of the parts of the way back, but outside of that, she hasn't done anything yet.
Well,
She probably figures something out before she does make a move, though. Indeed. She was able to project her consciousness into your inner sanctum like this. She must be considerably skilled in her work. It won't do to go into this panicked as you are, even if it isn't intentional. Our best bet for now might be to focus our efforts on steadying you, focusing
yeah,
your key again, so she
I,
will have less influence over you.
fair to say, I. God, she made it look easy, and no, You're right. I can't be thinking like that. I did all this in case I needed a rematch with Envy in here, and well, hell, what Tiamat is doing might as well be the same thing. So, time to put everything to work, I
Indeed.
guess.
Let's do everything we practiced. And you guys make preparations to recenter yourself and then tackle the problem once you have a better understanding of the situation.
Yeah.
All right, and we go back to the top of the turn order.
Well,
Tomas.
yeah.
So, um, as you're moving through your inner palace, um, you're finding less and less safe havens for fewer and fewer amounts of time as you're going over the situation. Um, Silkus is giving you a brief rundown of what he is describing as stacking the cards in your favor. Essentially, he's trying to teach you a layman's ritual of Xyces used to nudge the threads of fate. It does have quite a few uses, but just be warned, even if you won't incur the skeleton's wrath by touching them. Well, let's just say our bodies aren't exactly built to handle that kind of energy. We're born from raw chaos, and if anything, they're about as much raw order as you can get. So imagine quite the backlash to your psyche. You tried to do so.
Got it. Use it on others.
What was that?
I'll be like, got it. Don't do it to myself.
Yes, I don't think you'd get terribly far trying to boost things in your favor. It's taking on a risk to better the situation for yourself, for your others, or at the very least make things worse for those that are foolish enough to stand in your way.
Tomas's face will get the most like almost evil, mischievous grin. He's like, I like the sound of that. Um, Focus.
Yes.
Hess thought. Errant thought. Probably mildly important. Um, Figured I should probably wait till after the lesson to ask you because you probably would have said something if it was a danger. Where's my brother?
Sorry, that was Matt not explaining things.
Okay.
Your brother has been with you. The other Tomas
Oh.
has been focused on looking after him.
Okay.
He's mostly been quiet, trying to, because this is a bit of a shock for him.
Yeah, it probably would be. Okay, never mind. Tomas would not actually ask that then.
Yeah, sorry, that was me forgetting things.
Yeah. Tomas will be like, I'm really excited, honestly. For me to be able to say, fuck you, and for it to actually do something. That'll be certainly nice.
Yes, just remember, don't tug so hard that you break one of the threads, because if you do, that'll be a problem for you.
Gentle tugs. Got it. Mild fuck yous.
Try to keep it to a nudge, that way when you get mad, it becomes a danger tug instead of a danger snap.
Sounds like a plan.
Because if we get to the point of a snap, assuming you don't immediately die, Xyces will make you wish it did kill you. So fair warning.
Yeah, he does seem like the kind of person to do that. God to do that.
He takes his job very seriously. It's one of his biggest strengths and flaws. If you were
Oh.
anybody else, I'd say all that magical potential inside of you was being put to waste, but well, anybody else with as little training in this would probably be passed out if they didn't have the magical reserves you did, so consider yourself lucky.
Ron essentially told me I was magically constipated.
And what do you know, it worked in your favor.
Yeah, you know, 178 years of build up. It's gotta go somewhere eventually, I guess.
Just be careful not to burn through all of it before you're done waging war on the heavens.
Not looking. He's like, you know, it will be a nice reserve for the war.
I look forward to seeing how you use it. And as you finish the practice that Silkus had laid out for you, you feel something within your chest unravel a bit. And your body feels a little distant.
Um,
You feel like you aren't tethered to this place anymore.
Tomas is gonna try to reach out to like grab at Silkus.
You can still grab him. It just feels like if you wish to leave, you could.
Oh. I'll be like, okay, that was a weird moment. Um. Well, Silkus. Goodbye. It's nice talking to you. Um. Thank you for the middle finger. I will use it well. Push, not snap. Got it.
Good.
Yeah. And Tomas is going to walk up to Ron and his other self and just kind of give his other self a weird look again and be like, hey.
Hey.
Thanks for, and he'll just glance at Ruan for a second. He's like, I know you probably do it for you, but I still appreciate it and all that shit. And then he's going to very quickly give Ruan a kiss on the cheek and then try to leave before other Tomas can say anything.
You hear him start to say something, but you just bounce. You just fucking bloop. Fucking bitch.
Tomas still avoiding talking to himself at all costs, but has to make sure his little brother knows he loves him.
Mhm. It's okay. The other you is super hesitant to talk to you as well because he seems super fucking nervous.
That's fucking fair.
He's like, I know what I would say to me. None of it's good.
Yeah, honestly. I suck.
So, Tomas,
Yeah.
as your eyes slowly crack open, you feel your weight suspended by your arms as and your back is a bit rough as you realize you are currently chained to a stone wall. And standing a few feet in front of you is a small blue kobold up on a step ladder, kind of just poking at you a little bit with a small knife.
Bro, can you fucking stop that?
Yeah.
Yo, you're the one
An
poking
excuse
at
for Matt to play kobolds.
You see him stumble back for a second and say, "Why are you awake?"
because Tiamat ain't fucking shit. Now why are you poking at me?
Oh no. Need to tell brother. Need to tell brother.
What?
Over the sounds of him panicking over you being awake, you hear the sounds of Maya just yowling her mind out in the background, a couple feet away from you, out of sight.
I'll look at the kobold, like, bitch, the fuck you doing to my cat?
He doesn't seem to be paying you any attention as he tries to unsteadily hop down the ladder. And you hear the sounds of chains groaning just out of your sight around the corner.
Matt.
Yes.
Curious question. Is Maya roughly within 30 feet of me? Could I guess?
Yeah, you see her little toesies sticking out from around the corner as she tries to grip
Um,
herself and strain against her restraints.
What does somatic mean?
Somatic is
I think
hand
you have
gestures.
hand gestures, yeah.
My hands are like firmly against the wall.
They are loosely suspended, but you cannot move them enough in front of you to make the proper gestures.
Damn it. Okay. I was gonna make Maya big.
Yeah.
Are my feet against the wall?
You are suspended off the ground.
Would I be able to try to swing myself to wrap my feet around the kobold?
You are also your feet chained to the wall.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Sorry, yeah.
No, you're good. I'll be like, hey, wait, no, come back, come back.
So he is starting to head this way. Sam, I will let you know a mechanical thing. Maya is trying to break free from her chains.
Oh. Is that something I could have her roll for to try to see if she can get out of them?
Sam, let's just say I am rolling for her.
Okay. So when Tomas calls out to the little blue kobold, he doesn't stop at all, does he?
No, he is trying his best to run away. He sees Maya around the corner, lets out a shrill scream, and like sticks to the wall as he tries to scurry past.
Hey, wait, no, don't run away. She won't hurt you, right, Maya? Maya, tell him you won't hurt her, girl. You're a good girl, right?
Just that low, like.
See, that's her reluctant agreement. Come back and talk to me for a second. We're friends, right? I'm sorry I called you a bitch. I didn't mean it. I am cranky when I wake up.
Oh no, brother's going to be so mad.
No, he won't. He won't if you don't tell him.
He'll be even more mad if I don't tell him.
Why would you ever have to tell him? He doesn't have to know, right? What's your name? No, don't come. Can the mouse start trying to see if his noodle arms can break out of his shape?
Yeah, roll me an athletics check.
Sweet. No.
Your wrists hurt. This
Ow,
is a lot
ow,
harder than Wolf makes it look.
ow, how the fuck? You know, these are a little bit too tight. Can you at least, like, loosen them before you go?
He
Like,
does
they
not
hurt.
respond.
Ah, fuck.
Maya is rolling. Is there anything you would like to do to assist?
Um, I can't cast a large companion on her, can I?
You cannot, but there is something else you could cast on her.
What?
The thing I just gave you, Sam.
Over here, like just throwing up giant neon sign.
It's okay.
Thoughts be like, well, fuck you too, asshole. And he's gonna give my advantage.
Hey, there we go. Natural 17 on the advantage. So, you hear the sounds of a chain snap and just white blur as the kobold lets out a scream before it is ragdolled around the corridor for the next, 5 minutes.
Listen, I told you she wouldn't hurt you, but then you didn't come back.
He stopped
Oh,
screaming after a bit because he is very dead.
yeah, that's unfortunate. Maya, can you come help me out, babe? Sweet girl. I want out of this.
Yep. After the kobold is dead, she walks over and starts trying to help you out of the chains with her, fucking god teeth.
God, yeah, you're such a good girl.
Keyroll's dental plan.
I think if we find Reese, he should still have some treats left in your sleeves that I put there.
She begins purring loudly at the word treat as she gets through
Yeah.
she starts biting through your chains.
That's a good girl. Until then, like, you can munch on that guy if you want. I don't really care.
I should note she is covered in blood.
Yeah. He's like, he really didn't have to tell his brother. That was kind of stupid of him, don't you think? He wants to just
I should
talking to
note.
Maya.
Give me a perception check, by the way. As you take a second to look around, since you have nothing fucking better to do while you wait for Maya to get through the chains, you realize neither her nor you show any signs of actual injury.
Ross gonna like blink slowly. He's gonna be like, you know, sweet girl, I got a question for you. Um, did you ever actually get hurt today?
So, cocks her head at you.
That's a no. Did we run into a giant multi-headed dragon?
She chirps yes.
Okay, so that bitch did magic. That's nice.
All right. So while Tomas talks to his cat for the next 10 minutes while they get him out of the chains, move on. Reeb's old buddy, old pal.
Hello.
So, as you guys are having a conversation, eventually Ven and Werdrin show back up, and Werdrin just shakes his head and says, "The route you came from's cut off." Can't
Well-
find any gaps.
Well, that's very inconvenient for us.
That's just what the thing in the cloud wants us to believe. Sorry, that's just what that thing in the clouds wants us to believe.
Okay, can you go over that point you made like 3 paragraphs ago? Look, I'm sorry. It's not my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how to word this.
No, that was just Reeves being like, yeah.
Stop trying to solve nonsense with logic, Reese. Reeves. Shit.
Fuck.
Look,
Look. I'm trying to get myself in the frame of mind of considering things non-literally, but it's kind of hard to hang my hat on something.
I get it. You're trying. Do you know how I made my entire career as working as a paladin of Leard?
By smashing things with chains.
By having no idea what I was doing.
What do you mean?
Leard doesn't care about plans. Leard doesn't care about logic or sense or reason. All they do and get in the way of doing what you know you have to do. And he taps you again on the head. Stop thinking with this. And he just wraps the back of his knuckle on your chest. Start thinking this.
Reeves nods again, and
Thinking is for when people's lives are in danger.
when he says that, Reeves is going to just sort of recall, the stuff that happened outside
Mm-hmm.
and how he was like the second to go down.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to remember that very poignant conversation that he had with Madam V, and about how Cedar would be very concerned for him. Can he manifest skeleton key into his hand?
You can. It feels a bit distant at first, but as you focus on it, eventually it snaps into your hands.
He'll give it a light twirl and say, "Okay, I'm going to take a leap of faith. But before I do so, Move wanted me to tell you something."
He just kind of like rubs the bridge of his nose, and braces himself. Alright, hit me with it.
Stop being such a sad sack. And he will plunge the dagger into his heart.
You just see him let out an annoyed sigh. So, You dig a skeleton key into your chest, but instead of feeling pain, you feel like a click.
And he'll let out a sigh of relief.
And you feel the fog around your mind begin to fade away, and tight sensation in your chest begin to disappear. You get the feeling that you could leave at any time.
He'll just look around the room and says, "All right, I think I found my exit. I'm gonna make sure we're all safe."
Alright. We'll do what we can to keep it locked down in here. You do what you do best.
I always do. And open he'll open the door.
Alright. You feel your chest rise as you suck in oxygen, as you feel like you you feel a little lightheaded, like you hadn't been getting enough air for the past however long. And as you open up your eyes, do you have dark vision?
Yes.
That's good because you awake in a room with no lights, sitting atop an empty table. You feel a tingling sensation at the end of your fingertips that slowly begins to dissipate, and slowly control of your limbs returns to you as you sit up. Aside from Skeleton Key, all of your possessions are gone. Similar for you, Tomas. Aside from like your clothes, all of your equipment's gone,
Including my gloves.
including your gloves.
Bitch.
All right. As you look around the room, you appear to be in what was potentially an eight-pointed star-shaped room, except the leftmost point has been replaced with a door.
Hmm. Am I alone?
You are alone. It is eerily silent.
All right. Reeves is going to get to his feet, have another cursory look around the room, and then make his way toward the door.
Yep.
Um, he'll investigate the door. First with where is my feet? There it is. So I'm a master in Arcana, so it's a it's a third level detect magic.
What's the? That's 30 feet.
Maybe.
Don't believe you sense anything.
Okay. Is the door latched on this side, or is there like or is this a sort of like it's latched from the outside sort of deal?
From what you can tell, it uses a pretty standard locking structure. It's not so much latched as it has like a hinged lock, like most modern doors.
Okay. So he wouldn't need to pick it on his side.
You would still need to pick it, but it's not like there's a padlock on the outside of the door.
Okay. Well, in that case, he's just gonna stick skeleton key in there.
Yep, you're gonna start fiddling around there. It is locked, but given enough time, you will figure that out.
All right.
So, on to the next one. So Mika. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
no, Wolf.
Yeah.
All right, back to Wolf. So, um, as you're back into your mindscape, um, you're traveling with the other survivors in your mind. Um, Occasionally, some unknowable forms appear out of the edge of the storm, and you are all forced to defend yourselves. And most of them are fairly proficient at combat in some sense or another. Um, Mainly the two wolves and the shield captain, but you're kind of taken in awe by how the other wolf leaps into combat and tears his foes limb from limb, both with his sword and his bare hands, showing off a strength that you never recall having.
Hmm.
So, so after traveling for a bit, eventually you come to a spot to rest for a moment, and as the other wolf takes a look around, he walks over to one of the trees and just punches it for a moment. And as you get closer, you realize it was one that he marked maybe 15, 30 minutes ago on your travels. Even though you've been walking in a straight line, you're back to where you started. Damn it. Can't even carve our way out of here. Guess I should be used to this by now.
Who says we can't carve our way out of here? Surely something
Figure something
so.
out. Sorry. Go ahead.
I can't think of something so brutal would maybe help with the storm.
Hey, if you think you can kill a storm, you're more than welcome to try.
What about you, Wolf? Any bright ideas besides punching trees?
Hey, I got to where I am by being good at killing anything that moved. Whatever is causing this wants to show up, I will be more than happy to put it down. But here we're just jumping at shadows, waiting while something pokes around, kills us without giving the Dread Wolf a chance to put up a fight.
Dread Wolf?
When you start getting real good at killing, they start coming up with real good names for you.
Are you saying you are the Dread Wolf?
That's what they used to call me. But now I'm dead. And unfortunately, corpses don't really have titles anymore, do they?
How'd you go about getting Dread added onto your name? Besides piling up the bodies.
Well, you see, I strangled my cat until he stopped crying.
Oh shit, Wolf has a cat?
Yeah.
Well, not anymore, apparently.
Well, when you make a reputation for being the scariest thing on a battlefield full of demons, reputation starts to get spread. Word gets around. but I'm not exactly sure how being sorry. Not exactly sure this is something I could scare my way out of either. So if you got any bright ideas, I'll be more than happy to hear them. And Wolf, you feel a sharp pain in your chest. And as you look down through the gaps in your armor, you realize you're bleeding.
How bad are we talking?
It's not like gushing blood, but it's a continuous stream. Enough that in the conditions you're in, that's going to be a problem within the next few minutes.
Wolf, with his somewhat of instinct he still has, goes to try to treat it, only to realize he probably doesn't have any of that.
Yep, you don't have any of that on you, and it would take several minutes for you to doff your armor. You hear a commotion from the back. Pat. They seem to be startled by something large and menacing approaching, and as you turn to look in their direction as they ready their weapons, you see the familiar form, Moonfang.
Hmm.
The sky is darkened. The storms are growing thicker. And it's getting harder and harder to make out their shape. If you do anything,
Hmm. Think Wolf in this moment would probably reach out to Moonfang?
so seeing you starting to approach Moonfang, the other wolf tells the other Kiralian adventurers to back off for a second. And as they part and you move closer and reach out towards them, you see the silver wolf rest its head in your hand for a moment. Um, and as its face touches up against the blood in your palms, you see their form begin to take on more solid shape, and their fur begins to dye bleeding red as you realize the sky above you is growing darker and darker. Feel the winds die down for a moment. And as you look up, you see that the clouds have parted slightly and overcast everything with a crimson hue as a blood moon rests overhead. I'll be damned. One hell of a trick.
What is this trick? Wolf can even speak.
Yeah. You're saying you're not doing that?
I don't think I am.
First time I've seen anything like it in here. And as you think on that for a moment, you hear Moonfang let out a howl. And as that sound resonates with your body, you feel a tightness in your chest furl. Like you could leave any time.
So that I could leave any time.
Yep.
I recognize it.
It's an instinctual sort of feeling.
Mm. Mm. Guess we'll try to leave.
Yep. As you feel your form begin to fade away and you see your body turn into the cloud of blades alongside Moonfang, the other wolf looks in your direction. Maybe there's hope for you yet. And you're awoken on a table, your limbs stretched in all four directions on a rack, as a kobold stands over you, digging a scalpel into your chest. You can't see your equipment or Moonfang anywhere in sight.
But do I see the blood moon?
No, you see your blood, and the bloody hands of a kobold just kind of wiggling it around in your chest.
Wolf. Wolf's gonna try to attempt to get out if he has any energy. All right.
Yep. You're gonna struggle your limbs against the chains, but they are pulled extremely tight. And seeing your movement, the kobold's gonna look up at you and go, "Nah." Just squints at you for a moment and says, "Unfortunate for you.
What do you mean by that?
If you
Where
were
is
smart,
this?
you would have stayed asleep."
I can hardly do that with you poking in my chest, can I?
Your problem. I have work to do. And he just digs into your side again with the scalpel.
Is it?
So,
Oh, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
What a fucking mouthy bitch.
yep. So he pokes around for a bit with that, and at one point he kind of sticks his hand in a bit and just pokes around before nodding, and then flicking the blood off on. He just wipes his hand on your stomach to get the blood off a bit, and turns around to go fill out some papers on uh, the. Yeah, no, it doesn't feel great on the desk opposite to you. He seems to be making notes. Um, and Wolf, as you're laying there in a not small amount of pain, you notice something odd. You see the blood from your wounds begin to evaporate a little bit off of your chest inside. And in the flicker of the flames in the room, you can faintly see blood red pieces of steel as they begin to coalesce into a blade in your hand and shear through the shackles on your right hand side.
He's gonna go for all the other shackles immediately.
Yep. Quiet or loud?
He's not gonna like. He just wants out. He doesn't care what's loud.
Yep. So, You quickly hack off the other chains, and hearing a noise behind him, the other kobold looks around and sees you with this fucking blood dagger in your hand and fucking lets out a shrill scream like, and as he quickly fumbles for a key to go unlock the door, you can pounce on him, and if you have a specific way you want to take him out, you can. Otherwise, I will deal with him.
Well, we'll just stab him and kick him away.
Yep. Yep. You just hook the blade into his chest through his heart, and as it goes limp, you toss him aside and try to get your bearings. So, the hiltless dagger seems to dissipate a little bit in your hand and reforms partially into armor around you, only granting you about like a gauntlet. But you notice as some of the gauntlet seems to disintegrate away, your wounds close. You are back to full health. And you just see blood from the goblet, from the kobold rather, reforming back to the full gauntlet. Congratulations, you have a sword that can regrow itself by consuming the iron and blood.
Wow. I think
Yeah.
that's one of the coolest and edgiest things that someone has ever given my character.
I definitely didn't steal that part from Naruto, so you're gonna go fumble around with the
Wait a
keystone
minute.
and try to figure out your way out.
What?
Or
I don't even-
Shino.
Now you're a weeb.
Fucking Zabuza's sword's gimmick is that when it breaks, it just reforms itself from the blood of the things it kills.
So, how would it work? Actually, I'll ask later. But
Yeah. So you'll fumble with the locks for a bit there, and we'll move on to the next person.
He is now
So for
literally
realsies,
edgelord.
Mika. So Mika, you're back
Yep.
in the forge with Selwys. Says, well, I don't know who got you a piece of Rhindrake, but be sure to thank him for me after the fact. Never worked with anything quite like this.
So Chris does not recall any of this.
The only thing you recall having tied to Rhindrake is the ember from the first forge, which is said to be the forge that Rhindrake used to, like, essentially build the Dwarven Empire.
I'll definitely let him know if I get out of here, but what are you playing with there?
Well, I'm not the best of smiths, but what I am good is coming up with something new. And considering there's a bit of, well, me and a bit of Rhindrake in here, I was seeing if we can't figure out why if they can't play nice. I think I might have found something fun.
I'm up for some fun right now.
Aye, after we went through all that effort and finally found that there's still hope for Cindergate, I wouldn't want to give up now. Be a shame if somebody wasn't there to get them all reacclimated.
It'd be a right tragedy.
So I don't know too much about the Silverhands personally, but would you say they're family oriented?
Clan's everything. So, I?
And she looked at you again with that mischievous grin and says, then And how about we show them what happens if they try to get between you and the rest of your clan?
Oh, yes, let's please. What you got in mind?
Maybe something to kickstart the system, since we can't seem to get you out of here otherwise. Something to give you a bit of fire in your chest, literally.
He's gonna kind of look around the halls here. Unless you got something that blows up real big that I can shove out the doors. Hope that's what you're thinking.
Ah, I was thinking about putting the enhanced ember in your chest. Not literally speaking. The real one's still in your hammer, but see if we can't impart some of it into you personally.
Normally I'd ask some questions, but I don't think right now is the time, so I'll go ahead and lay it on me.
Alright. As much as I love my protege, let's see if we can't get the flash fire of Cindergate a little run for her money. And you just feel her pick up the ember and just thrust it into your chest, and you feel something inside of you burn away to ash. But you can still breathe, and your heart still beats normally, if not a little fast. And you feel a warmth radiating through you. Feel like you can leave whenever you're ready. Well, you're not dead. That's a good first sign.
Oh, that feels interesting.
Well, you got the blessings of two gods in you. Imagine it might feel a bit strange to have it a little more direct. But I am curious to see what they can't do.
Alright. That still feels pretty different, but alright. Let's go test this out.
And you just feel the other Mika clap you on your shoulder about as you're about to head out and says, "Give him hell for all of us. We'll keep things locked down in here."
Oh, I'll give him all the hells. This one will
Alright.
not go quiet.
You ready to hop out?
Oh yeah, she's gonna close her eyes and think back to out.
Yep. So as you focus on the fire in your chest and leaving on the outside, you feel a coldness in your limbs fade away, replaced by a heat, but it's a good heat. A warm, all-embracing heat. And as you feel your senses slowly return to you, you awake to the feel of hard stone on your side and the smell of molten metal. And as your eyes open, you look down as the chains binding your body glow white hot, and your hands like a molten silver. The chains binding you seem to melt away to nothingness. Push yourself onto your feet as the effect begins to wane, but leaves a familiarity in your chest. I feel like you could call upon that near future.
Take a breath
As
and
you
take
look
a.
around the room, find yourself appears to be in a storage room of some sort. A number of chains and shackles line the walls, as well as empty crates around the edges of the room. You can see two lanterns hanging barely lit as the oil runs low in them on the walls. And to the south of you is a sturdy wooden and steel framed door.
Huh.
Your armor and weapons are gone.
All right then. Kinda think aloud a little bit. Well, I ain't dead, and I don't hurt. So this must be a Tiamat game. And that means I want out. She's gonna basically just head for the door and just shoulder check it.
Yep. It does appear to be locked, but you hear it creak a bit under the force of the impact, and you feel like if you put enough effort into it, you could probably take this thing down.
That
So
is.
I'll leave you to that.
Yep.
So, Reese.
Hi.
Hi. So, back in your fun little cabin, you just finished having a fun conversation. The address. He seems to have a satisfied grin on his face at your response. Says good. I'd like to be around this time. When we told her off, I didn't get to see her face last time. Now, the unfortunate circumstance is, I'm going to guess you don't know where exactly that key works on you.
No, but I suppose at this point we can try. Whatever.
We may need a bit of a drastic solution if you don't already know. I think Brianna intended it as a test to make sure you could only tear it all away, so you were absolutely certain you thought on it. I don't think we have time for her games at the moment, as well intentioned as they are. I do have an idea, though, but I warn you it will likely be very unpleasant, at least for a moment.
That's fine. I'm used to it by now.
If we can't find the gap she made, perhaps we just need to make a new crack in the glamour. Assuming it's your will.
Sorry, Matt. I didn't quite. I didn't make it out. Sorry.
He said that if you can't find, if you don't know where the hole is already, you might have to make a new crack in the glamour.
Well, I know the original was on my chest. I guess we can start there.
That we can. And he finishes his tea and gestures to yours to ask if you're done with it.
Reese will just down it real quick. Is it good?
Oh yeah, it's great.
Sweet.
So he puts his hand on. He puts his left hand on your shoulder and looks you in the eyes for a moment and says, "Let's see what mother was so keen on looking away. Let's hear that roar." And he pulls his arm back and just plunges his hand into your chest.
Ooh.
And your eyes snap awake with the sound of a crack as your body just lets out this inhuman roar as your flesh and bones begin to buckle and reshape. And the chains binding you to the wall that you didn't even know were there snap as your body grows and reforms and reshapes to that of a dragon.
Sweet.
Hell yeah.
So is this like a large dog, tiny carrier kind of situation right now?
Yeah, you could not completely unfurl your wings, but the door ahead looks like you could squeeze it through if you knocked that thing off its fucking hinges.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. So, you figure, hey, what's a better test of my new strength? And you just fucking slap the shit out of that door, and you hear it crack as the doors are thrown off their hinges. And as it flies across the door frame, flies across the room, and you just poke your head out to look around. You see this tiny white kobold on the other side of the room just drop down and like tuck his head down and be like, ah, please don't kill Malt.
Oh no.
Am I able to crawl out into that room?
Yep. You just
Okay.
liquid cat body out through the door frame.
I love that you also subscribe to the fact that dragons are cats.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. He's just gonna look down at this kobold and lower his head so he's like semi-level with it. Hey, where are the rest of the captives in here? I know they're here.
Uh, uh, I'm I'm sorry, Master. I didn't know that there was another dragon in here. Which ones are you looking for specifically?
Not dragons. Reese is gonna
Uh,
suddenly look really aggravated.
he points at himself and says, are there kobolds?
Where's the way out?
And he points to the stairwell to the left. He says, out that way, past Madar's door.
All right. Well, stay here like a good little whatever you are. And I won't kill you. Okay.
Of course. Uh,
Reese is going up the stairs.
as you start passing him by, he seems to like scuttle back for a moment and just like shift around in place and looks into the other room. And you see his like ears flop back for a second and says, I do not mean to question, but what did you do with the prisoner in the room? I was supposed to guard him. If he is dead, they're going to be so mad. And you just hear Eadras sigh within your head and say, they're not exactly the brightest of creatures.
In his own head, he's gonna say, "Can't really have him raising an alarm, though, can we?" Reese is just gonna tail slap the fuck out of that kobold.
1 second, Eadras will respond before you do that and says,
Okay.
no, But there's a potential opportunity in this.
Oh.
If nothing else, kobolds are loyal when given the proper motivation, and out of all of them, the white kobolds aren't exactly the brightest. If you see use for him, be able to assist us. You and your lot are always so eager to help the helpless and all that.
Reese will turn back and look back at the kobold.
Just shaking like a chihuahua.
They've been moved to where the other prisoners are.
Oh, that is good.
Yes, go ahead and lead the way.
Of course, of course.
Thank
Well,
you.
I must have sent you then. My apologies. I was not told you were coming. Allow me. And you just hear a low, like, we should get your friends leave quickly then.
Yes.
Badar is not one we want.
Ew, it's gross in here.
Yeah, it's not great. Of all the people, or rather, of all of Mother's children, he was one of the closest to see. Who knows? We might be able to now that wait. Very
Right.
careful. Lana.
Hello.
Hi. So, within the temple, despite the pounding rain outside and the roars overhead, which seem to be, weirdly enough, getting increasingly frequent and frustrated sounding,
Mm-hmm.
you eventually manage to reach an inner peace, and the outside noises seem to fade away into nothing as you feel yourself calm.
Mm-hmm.
You feel
Okay.
grip your chest slowly dissipate.
I'm
Are
sorry?
you going to say something? I
No,
said
no, no,
you
no.
feel a grip on your chest slowly dissipating.
Okay. She'll just kind of calmly open her eyes and just let me go. Sarah, do you still have that little trinket I brought the other week?
Oh yeah, and she pulls out a small little like twine necklace she made that was holding it around her neck. Yeah, I got it right here.
The the original plan was for you to use this to head back out, but since I've got one and you've got one, mind if I borrow it for a minute?
Yeah, sure, give it a shot. And she
Okay.
hooks it off her neck and hands it to you.
And Lana will close her eyes and visualize herself holding this little thing.
All right. And as you focus on that, you feel your body begin to be pulled away. If you would like, you can head back outside.
She will do that, and with a triumphant little smile, she just kind of tosses it back to Sarah and says, "Keep a hand on that, and I'll see you guys again soon, real soon."
Um, and as your senses return to you, you hear the sounds of a chain straining, and you feel an odd shift of your weight jostle you back to consciousness as you're sitting inside of a cage being hoisted into the air.
Hmm.
Back in the distance, you can hear like, stupid heavy outsider.
Okay.
And looking over in the source of the voice, you can see the faint flickers of movement from behind the statue that you are currently being wedged up into the hand of.
Okay, so in the hand of a statue, or dangling from a hand, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
in a cage, like suspended by a chain.
Yep.
Okay. And she can't see who's hoisting her up. She's like they're kind of like blocked by something.
Yeah, the statue is between you and them.
Okay. She's quickly going to just kind of, let out her little groan and just kind of grab her head and just kind of get herself back to normal. But once she is back to normal, she's going to just kind of reach out and just test the integrity of the cage holding her together.
Yep. So you test the cage, and it seems to be of surprisingly well made.
Mm-hmm.
Each bar is about probably as thick as your forearm, and it's just like the gaps between it are thin enough that you could probably fit like maybe up to your wrist through, but any further than that would be hard to get in.
Okay. How high up is she?
Currently probably about like 10 to 15 feet.
Oh, okay. Not actually that much.
Yeah, it's not like 50 feet in the air or anything insane like that.
Damn. All right. She briefly just kind of glances down. Is the floor of the cage made out of the same material as the rest?
Yeah, it seems to be some sort of metal.
All right. In that case, uh, she's just going to. She's gonna pause briefly. And how far away is the statue from the cage? Yeah, how far away is the cage from the statue?
Like from you reaching the hand or from where the cage is to the main body?
From the cage to the main body.
About 20 feet.
All right. So, not really thinking too hard about it. Lana is going to she's going to back up until her back is up against one side, and then she's going to like rush forward and throw all of her weight into the other side, and she's trying to run the cage into the statue.
All right. So you knock the cage back and forth for a bit, but give me an athletics check.
Okay.
Yep. So you try to throw your weight into it, but it looks like there's not enough length left in the chain before it reaches the hand for you to get that. So you like swing up a bit and jostle back and forth. But it looks like you don't exactly have enough flexibility left in the length to be able to hit the body of the chain from where you to hit the body of the statue from where you are with the cage. Stop that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try something else then. And she is going to. Is there anything at the top of the cage that she can like grasp onto and like hoist herself up?
You might be able to like grab like the iron bars around the top, but like it wouldn't have to be. It couldn't be at the straight top. It'd be at like the top angles.
Yeah, she just wants to get herself up and like up against towards the roof, and then she's going to like shove herself down to try and just because it sounded like the guy was kind of struggling, so she's just gonna go, here, let me help take some of that burden off you, and she's just gonna try slamming herself into the floor of the cage to see if she can see if she can stop him from hoisting his winch or whatever he's doing back there.
Yep. So you hear the sounds of as you hit the ground and lift him off his feet for a second, and he just looks around the corner, and you see this tiny little green lizard-like face covered with a series of horns, being like, "You're not supposed to be awake, and if you keep this up, you won't be fed for the next week."
You forget, not eating's kind of my whole thing for a little bit. Not exactly Tomas bad, but inner peace and all that.
Brother will be happy then. We do not have to waste food on you. And you hear the click of the cage hitting the top as he just hoists the chain around some kind of catch behind the back and says, "You are free to play around as much as you like. You are not my problem anymore."
Think I'm gonna be your problem more than you think. I have a way of being like that.
He starts grumbling him to himself in like draconic and heads out of the room.
Okay. All right. So violence isn't gonna get me out of this. Let's think. She's like at the top?
Yes.
Okay. Um can she like reach like the hand of the statue or anything like that?
The the way the cage like connects all the bars at the top together, it's too tight for you to fit a hand through up to where it's closest, and because you can't get more than like your wrist out at anything below like the top bend, you can't reach the wrist from where you are either. So it doesn't seem like it's going to be an easy feat to be able to grab the statue without like potentially like cutting off circulation to your limbs by wedging them in there at a super weird angle.
Okay. Lana just has another quick look around the room to see if there's anything that she could maybe use or anything that she might have missed.
So, as you look around, there seems to be a chain threaded through the arm of the statue. It looks like it was repurposed as a sort of hanging prison. And you can see the chain dangling down the back of the statue and around some sort of latch on the back that the kobold has set up.
An idea. Do you see something that Lana has prepared today?
Let us see.
Oh, it has to be a creature. Son of a bitch. Eh. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there goes that.
So, I want to give you this information because I think I might not have made it clear when I originally gave it to you.
Mm-hmm.
That ability I sent you, they are physical unless they are inside of a host.
Interesting. Okay.
So they can briefly interact with things, but they need to return to a host at the end of every turn.
Gotcha. All right. Um, Sarah, Lana is going to briefly just kind of feel around and pat around and see if she can find that little kind of cat trinket that she had used to get out of her mind.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Um, what? How were you holding it when you when you left your mind?
It was just kind of in her hand. Um, and then she had she had usually kept it in like her pocket just because it's just like a small little thing.
Yeah. Most all of your magical possessions and your weapons, including your fist wraps, are gone. But it
Mhm.
seems like mundane items like that were kept around.
Okay. So she's just gonna take a seat and she's just gonna hold that little pendant and she's gonna go, all right, well, Sarah, I don't suppose you'd be able to come out here and get me out of here, would you? And she'll just try to channel her ki into the pendant.
So, as you focus yourself and your key on the pendant, you feel an unusual level of clarity that you weren't able to quite reach before back in the tower. And you see their form flickering into existence for a moment before um, they seem to fade for a second before you feel the usual sensation of heightening your um, adrenaline and reflexes with key rush, and you feel their voice call out in the back of your head like, "Oh wow, this is different, but all right, let's try to go with this. What can I do for you?"
Cage, and there's a and I'm kind of stuck here. There's a wench over there. I'm looking at it right now. So if you could just go kind of like knock it over for me and get me out of here, that'd be perfect.
Sure, I'll give it a shot.
All right.
And you see her form rush out of you for a second, and she unhooks the chain for a second and begins lowering you down and looks around the statue to give you a thumbs up before her form flickers out of existence and you lose concentration
Aw.
and the cage drops.
Ah!
So, as you hit the ground, you hear a loud crack, and it's not comfortable, but you survive without any damage, and it looks like the structure of the cage has been weakened a bit.
All right. Lana is going to throw herself into the weakened bit to try to get herself out of it.
Yep. So, after a little bit of time, you manage to force your way out of the cage, and you're back on your feet, the room where you were being held. And I think that is a good place to take a break and potentially where we might be done for the night. I'm trying to take a look at what we have left, but let's start with like a 5-minute break.
Waters.
You're a 5-minute break.
Hi.
What?
So how'd you guys like that so far?
Loved it.
This is cool.
I'm sorry you were the first person I gave a kobold that you didn't immediately have to murder.
Me?
Yeah.
I think Tomas is going to train Maya with a new code word,
Yeah.
and that code word is lunchtime
Yeah.
for her to attack small creatures,
I see.
like kobolds.
Watch Tomas accidentally say lunchtime when he's like walking somewhere with Reeves, and then
Oh no.
and suddenly Maya is like at his throat. It's like what?
I was like, oh wait, no, Maya, not that one. Maya, oh shit, wait, Maya, stop, please.
Oh
You are
no,
so
No
please
teeth,
stop.
no teeth, no teeth.
Well, Reeves' teeth is important in lunchtime.
On my throat.
Okay, that's fair. Maya, heal. You
Looking
are
at what
so
we have
loud.
left, I think we should probably tap out here for the night.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sad face.
Just because I'm worried if we push any further, we're going to get into some dragged out sections that won't have easy break points.
Mm-mm.
So that'll be good to have its own session for that. Oh, Jesus.
Cat.
Yeah.
It's
Baby.
Ringo. Ringo's never this loud.
No.
But yeah, I hope you guys had fun doing another Character Mind Palace session.
I love how half
E.
the group was like, alright, we're gonna logic the other half, and the other's like, alright, I'm gonna punch.
Hard violence. Reese was so ready for violence, and I'm proud of him.
Idris is like, okay, listen, I know I said go ape shit, but hear me out for a second. Reese
To
is like,
hear me out, half of the fun of being a dragon is having minions.
You know the situation is interesting when Idris has to be the reasonable one.
Reese is
Hey,
very
he's
cranky
still-
right now.
He's still a fuckboy dragon. He likes having followers, okay?
The
Let the man have his pleasures.
The party has an upgrade. They now have spicy Reese.
We need to get a picture for Spicy Reese.
I'm not gonna lie.
I was actually browsing for some.
Yeah.
Every time a kobold spoke, you're saying Reese. I kept thinking of Spurt. Just like, God
Yep.
damn it!
Kobolds are fun. I love them.
How long have you been down here? 11 days! How long do kobolds live? 11 days!
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of appreciate that in the division of the party members that chose violence and the ones that tried to logic themselves out, Tomas's situation had both where Tomas is like, hey, you can let me go, right? And Maya's like, no.
The kobold is like, no, I need to tell brother.
I want to know who brother is.
Yeah.
Is everybody else's kobold dead?
Maya ate.
Two other people had kobolds. They're both dead.
Yeah, I didn't get a kobold, so.
Yeah.
It was me and Wolf, and Maya chose
I
violence.
sure fucking did.
Lana had a
Lana's
cobalt that just
kobold
got tired
fuck
of her
off.
shit and left.
He's like, I don't get paid enough to deal with this.
I can't wait for at the end of this Reese to just have a tiny little horde of kobolds.
Just them blepping.
Reeves is gonna look at all of them, look over to the dragon that they now have in their party, and is like, "Are you sure Nara's gonna let you keep all these?"
Reese is like, who said anything about keeping them?
Tomas lunchtime.
Just fucking Molt sitting there like fucking Hrothgar sitting playing patty cake with the dirt.
Reese will play patty cake with the dirt too.
Be nice.
Matt's like, do not mark all of my kobolds.
Hey, you can murk most of them. And if you really want to, you can murk the one with you. That is entirely up to Reese.
Is this kobold mine? Can I just keep it?
That is entirely up to how you behave for the rest of the dungeon.
Reese just picking up the kobold at the end and squinting at it like, I can't decide whether you should live or die.
Fun fact. In my universe, the kobolds take after the colors they're based on. So Molt is based off a fucking white dragon. Or the
His name is
stupid feral
Molt?
ones. Yeah, his name is Molt. He said, don't kill Molt.
I was wondering what he said.
Yeah,
I didn't catch it. Don't kill Molt. Baby.
He was just going in to check on the prisoner and suddenly the doors exploded and there was no prisoner.
Oh, honey. And he's stupid.
Yeah, he no have big smart brain.
Reese just like gently picking Molt up by the head and carrying him. Like a dog with a puppy.
Oh, Reese, fun fact, roll me perception checks.
Fuck.
So as you guys are wandering along, and Molt kind of has to like waddle up the stairs because his legs are short, you see numerous scars across his back. Whee!
Oh, damn it, Matt!
You got a Matt.
Hi!
Alright, we got a new mascot. New mascot. Alright.
Matt, you can't just give me a sad, abused minion.
Yes, I can. It's easy. Fuck you. You hurt me in your campaign.
Yeah.
Fuck you! You hurt me tons in your campaign too.
Yeah, this is the self-fulfilling cycle.
Mika will make little forgelings out of them. Like, you can help me in the forge. You can haul shit.
Yeah, I hope you guys had a lot of fun because I had a lot of fun coming up with those scenarios.
I can't wait for like Reese to reunite with Lana, and for Lana to be like, "Dragon," and Reese to be like, "Shh, shh, shh."
I'm really curious about Reese's coloration. I wanna know. It's like, are we gonna notice right away? It's like, alright, that's not a normal.
Yeah, you're gonna notice it's not normal.
Okay, I'm really curious.
It's very if it's the color I think it is, it's very obvious.
It's the black opal, yeah.
Yeah, black opal. So he's shiny.
Oh, of
Black
course he is.
opal.
I will show you the coloration that me and Vit picked out. Because there's a lot of different types of black opal.
I'm assuming like most of us have seen Reese's like non-hidden claws or
Hands?
something, or hands. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. He uses them pretty frequently.
Though
Ooh,
that is the color of Reese's scales.
that
Ooh.
tracks.
So like a black with a bunch of different colors.
That tracks.
Yeah. So essentially, he looks like a almost like onyx colored dragon, but when the like light hits him, it looks like a sunset and shit like that.
All right, that seems extra enough for Reese.
Yep.
I was thinking about making his hair do that too. You know, after this.
Yeah. Now that he's like, you know what?
Today I choose to be a problem.
You know, Tiamat let me live another day, and I'm about to make that 1,000% her problem.
Just
Pretty.
Eodrass in his own fucking pseudo lawful evil dragon way, being like, "Are you sure you still want to play? Are you sure you keep want to being this fuckboy Reese? You're a dragon, motherfucker. Take what you want."
This is fun. I
And then
like it.
Eodrass listened as Reese was like, I'm gonna splat a fucking kobold, and he was like, whoa, 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 pump the brakes! Stop! Not, whoa, slow down!
No, those are
You-
what we refer to as minions. They are
You
free
just
help.
you just said to go ape shit.
Yeah, I guess it
Literally.
doesn't matter. The kobold couldn't kill me in my sleep if it tried. Okay.
My AC's too high. It can't hit me.
I just looked at the pictures of Kobold on Nethys, and oh no, they're cute.
Oh
They
yeah,
are
if I dr-
cute. I'm mad.
if I, I'll drag you all over to the observatory real quick so you can see the 5 kobolds I have.
Aww.
Oh no.
Had. Some of them are dead.
Yeah.
It's okay, we have Molt. It's loading.
Yeah.
Slowly, it's going. Ugh.
I put them on the first floor for when you guys get there.
The party being like, Reese, what's that? A souvenir.
My entourage.
They're just like, what the fuck, dude?
Where?
I would like
Yeah,
to
I
see
don't
the
see.
babies.
Not there.
I see
Scroll,
no,
yes.
I see no babies.
Invisible
I also
babies.
see no babies.
Hold on.
Ah, babies.
Aww. Oh, the
I
white
love the
one's
white.
cute.
Yeah,
The
I
white
love
one
the
is
Pathfinder
really
ones.
cute. Oh
The
no.
white one's Molt.
Oh,
Yeah.
Which one's died?
who got splattered?
The blue
Oh
one?
no, yeah, the blue one.
Blue and black. A blue and
Aww.
black got killed.
Oh, the black one's kind of cute.
He's a little goblin.
Sorry.
I mean, he was stabbing and poking around on your guts, so.
Very unrepentantly.
Oops, sorry.
How dare you?
I accidentally double unmuted. Doop. The green one looks like a bitch.
A little bit.
That's the one that just fucking left for Lana. That's the one that
It's like,
Lana
fuck
had.
you,
I
I don't
hope-
get paid enough.
I
Yeah.
hope Reese rounds the corner and sees him and is like, hey.
My dumbass was like, why does the blue one look familiar?
Eh?
That's the one that Maya
Oh.
ragdolled.
Which one's
Look.
this wolf ragdoll?
The new baby.
The
This one.
black
This one.
Okay.
I love that Wolf is now a like literal edge lord. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Don't understand how long I've been waiting to use Dreadwolf.
Oh god. I heard it and I immediately thought of Inquisition.
I
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
the best snows.
Uh-huh. Yeah, those are you got the important pieces there.
Silkus is Tomas's favorite. Other wolf is cooler than present wolf.
Also,
Bro, it's like you're.
I've been waiting for like a month to start that conversation with, well.
Yes! That was such a good well. It was
Which
so
one?
good.
One that
Oh
Nathan
my-
does.
Other wolf picking
Whoa,
up
whoa.
Nathan Wolf.
I
Haven't
want to
done that in a
change the
while, though.
color of my login thing.
You wanna know what's
I don't know
exciting?
how to do it.
Our next
Hmm?
session is the day after my birthday.
Hell yeah.
Happy spooky month.
Can
I
you
think I have
right
to log
click your
out.
own name?
No, I can't. Oh yeah, I
What
can.
color do
What
you
the
want?
fuck?
Okay, yeah. User configuration. Hell
Rad.
yeah. Our next session should be on the 15th,
The day after my birthday.
which is
Yeah.
great because I'm on PTO that day, so I can prep all fucking day.
Hell
Yay.
yeah.
I'll have a Sam with me that day.
Wait. No. I have PTO on the 8th. Okay, never mind. It's still a short week
Hmm.
at least. I
What
promise
color
day
should
off.
Reese be now? Should I go for a purple or a red?
Purple.
Maybe like a
A
violet,
mauve.
like a ready purple.
Like this? Yeah.
A mauve.
Oh, like yeah.
Reese has been blue since the beginning of the campaign.
What are you
Fear.
editing?
Hmm?
You're editing what now?
The color of my pings and
Ah.
yeah.
Also, Vit, I will say it is super fun to come up with Reese siblings.
Oh.
I mean, Idras was like, yeah, we probably shouldn't deal with Badar. That's a problem.
Reese is like, why are there so many fuckboys in our family tree?
Tiamat has a lot of kids.
Yeah, she does.
Fun fact from Idras, Badar's fucking title is the Tyrant. So, that'll be fun.
The
We.
tyrant.
He's
That
a
sounds
black
like a.
dragon.
I was about to say it sounds like a black dragon.
Yeah.
If he's a tyrant over kobolds, he's still a fuckboy.
I I hope like the prolonged eye contact meme happens when Reese and him spot each other.
Oh, he's a tyrant? Well, we'll make him retire.
Mm.
Got him. Fucking dabbing.
Why is it that
Retirement man.
every encounter we have, every single one, Reese has to fly the party away?
Not everyone.
I mean, you could give the
Just
ring to someone else.
No, I meant if he has to fly,
Oh.
If Reese has to fly out.
Did you like how all of your headspaces, people were like, yeah, this weird fucking clown showed up and told us where your corpse was?
Except for Eodras. Eodras was just like, so.
Considering that Jesper is the first one to get murked, Mika's real curious about that one, but now is not the time to worry.
Yeah, like considering he's also has Brianna's domain in him, I imagine he was able to shotgun himself into like our souls or something.
I don't know.
That'll be
We know
real
what his
fun later.
domain was. Oh, by the way, Matt,
Mhm.
my spell slots from like the fight with the knights, those were actually expended, right?
No, all of your spell slots and abilities have been reset to max.
Oh, because we were unconscious for a bit.
I don't know, when you woke up, you didn't. Well, Reese, you wouldn't know. Everybody else who woke up in their body, no injuries from the battle. Wolf, it's a little hard to tell with you because you're full of scalpel and little kobold like
Do
potato
we
chip grease.
Oh, delicious.
do we feel sore at all or anyway or is
Reese
there any
feels great.
res- or
Not
any,
when you
like
physically wake up, no. You feel
Okay.
weird and tingly. That's about it.
Interesting.
Hmm. This is sus. I'm trying to figure out where Tiamat's brain fucking started.
The fog.
Probably.
I'm excited.
It's
Also, what was it? Just remember, none of you have your equipment,
Yes.
other than like weird special bullshit that'll show up on you. Wolf, you're counted as having Moonfang. I will let you know that again next session. Reeves, you can have Skeleton Key because Key can fucking teleport into your bones.
Yeah.
Does
Fucking relevant
Tomas
weapons.
have his ring of sustenance?
No.
Well,
Oh
fuck.
no.
Oh no.
For the first time in a very long time, Tomas, you feel hungry.
Tomas, you
Tomas is
feel a little
ravenous.
lightheaded and you hear a growling and you go, Maya, not right now. And then you realize it's from your own stomach and you're like, oh no.
Oh, my. Do you have any snacks?
He like
Meow.
peters off and drags the kobold to you.
Yes.
He's like,
Good
fair.
baby.
We'd have to cook that first.
Do you?
Yeah, do you?
He'll be like,
I mean,
Just 'cause
Tomas
you
got a
don't.
weak big stomach. He hasn't even eaten normal food in like 6 months.
That's
Tomas
fair.
doesn't eat meat.
Oh, he's vegan.
Yeah.
That's right.
Fucking elf.
Tomas will be like, okay, Maya, just bring that with you in case of emergency. Let's go.
I'm just picturing like whoever gets there first coming up to Mika's door if you can't bang your way out and just hear dunk, dunk.
I hope it's Reese. I hope it just dunk, dunk, and then Reese just like caves in the door.
I kind of want it to be Tomas, so Tomas will be like, you got this, Mika.
And then he gets hit by the door when Mika successfully dislodges
Yeah.
it.
Oh, he's like, Mika, do you have any snacks?
Looking at the lack of anything on my belt, like,
Fuck.
nope.
Yeah. But yeah,
Forget what
all of
hunger felt like.
just for clarity, all of you will have your use. If your ability I gave you had daily uses, those will not be consumed as a part of this cycle that was today.
Okay.
Hot.
Did
Hey.
you add it? Did you add it to our sheets?
What about focus points?
That is going to be on your sheets for next session. That focus point was not consumed.
Nice.
It was backpacking off the refocusing you did with the other two inside of your head.
Is this consuming the one-time use of my dragon shape?
No.
Then
Hell
don't.
yeah.
It only lasts for a minute, right? 10 minutes.
Yeah, but I figured you were doing DM thematic
Yeah.
hand wave.
I will let you know when it stops, and then after that, it'll cost your usage.
Word.
Yeah, you're riding high off
Angie.
a fucking ancient slash adult dragon punching a hole through your glamour. And just the backlog of being a dragon finally pouring out.
I have no idea where the crack was. Part of me was like, it's probably my head. Because Brianna's cheeky like that.
I would have assumed your hands because that's what was showing, but
Yeah, it is hard to say, but because
Doesn't matter now.
yeah, because Reese was so concerned about, oh god, if I give into these urges, I'll be a fucking evil monster. And he addresses like, nah, that's just being a dragon, my dude.
Lol.
You take what you want, you just gotta determine how you take what you want.
Valid.
But I hope you all feel inspired by the talks from the dipshits that live inside your head.
I most certainly did. Yeah.
Tomas loves his dipshit.
I love-
Reese's talk
two of
definitely
them.
felt.
Two of them.
Reese's talk definitely felt like one of those hashtag good talk motivational speeches between siblings.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm so
I love.
happy. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I love the eventual payoff of what I had in Reese's scene. Cause like for the last like 10 weeks he's been doing nothing but like lockpicking his head, and then to get out he fucking lockpicked his heart.
Aw.
He's
Uh,
like, dumbass,
gay.
stop trying to think through this. It, their entire domain runs off fucking YOLO as a principle.
Someday, Lana will find a person that vindicates her dumb anime bullshit. That'll
Hell
be a
yeah.
great day.
Unfortunately, the people inside your head also perform dumb anime bullshit, so they're like, yeah, rad.
Yeah.
Thematic or storyline wise, I'm just happy to see Selwis like kicking back up again. Like no, you're more than managing a little group of people. I'm very happy to see that.
She's just rallying the defenses inside of your head.
Uh huh.
It's just like, so I found God A juice and God B juice, and I thought it'd be really funny to drink both of them and see what happens.
Yeah, basically, and then shove it.
The god of inspiration and the god of forging in metal. What could possibly go wrong? But yeah. By next session, I will have all of that character stuff added to your sheet, and we can wrap this section up and see how much we go in the rest of the mission.
Hell
We
yeah.
either have 1 or 2 sessions left for this little deployment.
Whee.
Wee.
I can't wait for Reese to cat crawl through this entire dungeon searching for freaking equipment he can't even equip right now.
Just like, what the fuck is that grinding noise as Reese fucking like power crawls to the dungeon slapping kobolds into paste?
Very therapeutic.
Except for one.
Mm.
Just gently scoop up Molt and put him on my back.
As Molt is like waddling along behind you with the fucking Rugrats theme playing.
He's just holding all of Reese's gear. It's fine.
Got a
Goodness.
groupie.
Tomas squinting at the kobold like, babe, why are we keeping this one?
Because it's mine.
But why?
Because it's mine.
If Tomas thought Reese was
I'm
insufferable
helping.
before.
Oh, babe, do you at least have like a snack or something?
Reese just looking at Tomas and like gesturing to himself.
Yes, babe, you are a snack, but not right now.
No, in dragon form because he can't wear anything. He doesn't have pockets.
Tomas looking at Reeves like, are you hitting on my boyfriend for me?
Reese is like, I don't have pockets, you idiots.
Fucking
Oh.
Molt walks up to him with like hands spread out, and there's just like dried little jerky chunks and dried fruit.
Tomas picks out the dried fruits like, thanks, Molt.
Gives you a
Okay.
thumbs up and just stuffs the rest of it back in his pockets.
It's like, I
It's a-
guess he's
it-
okay.
The dried fruit's a little linty, but other than that, it's fine.
Reese just looking at Tomas like, see, he's a good boy.
Just walking around blepping.
I had,
As he forgets to put his tongue back in his mouth.
That's awesome.
When Reese is back in dragon form, so long as they're not in combat, just imagine Reese carrying him like baby.
I saw
How
a
many-
TikTok.
Hmm?
Oh, I was gonna say, I saw a TikTok today where somebody was like, do you remember the last time your D&D character ate? And I'm like, yes, it's been a very long time because he does not eat.
Remember the
He
last
has
time they
removed that
consumed
mechanic.
alcohol?
Yeah.
I can absolutely remember the last time they consumed alcohol. I also remember the pie, so.
Oh yeah. Pie.
We.
Ha.
It has probably been months since Tomas ate food.
Yeah.